The more connected you are is about raising your vibration. The more you're understanding your roots, the more you're understanding your connections to this system, the more you will start to destroy and hold accountable these synthetic parasites who have infiltrated the beautiful relationship that humanity has with the earth plane experience. And these viruses, these parasites will be seen for what they are, and they will be removed from this system eventually in their own way. So the side effects to this bullshit, like I said, you can reconnect with your dreams when you get outside of the synthetic magic tricks. On the opposite side, the parasitic side, the synthetic side, you have these assholes on television for decades. Bill Maher's been on TV for decades. Just imagine if Bill Cosby was sitting in that seat and he said this shit back in 1993 or whenever the hell he said it. He would never have been heard of back then and up until now. He would have been totally ostracized, I think that's the word, from the mainstream, from everything if he had said this. But Bill Maher is still on HBO today talking about politics. He had a fucking meeting with Barack Obama. Barack Obama went on his television show 20-something years later after he said this shit. You have to be completely ignorant of what's going on if you think that this Hollywood government shit, this Western civilization, is separate from what's happening in the church. It's all one story. One story that's going on, and this is the destructive, nasty, fucked up vibrations that are going on behind the veils, behind those magic tricks, behind people not standing in their power and understanding the relationships. And they're trying to double down, the so-called powers that be are trying to double down on that destructive program. And you have people like Stephen Hawking and Neil deGrasse Tyson and all these other people who are selling fear porn to try to make you believe in a particular level of consciousness, which is technology, CERN, going to Mars, going to the moon, thinking that they can install consciousness as artificial intelligence into a robot and so on and so forth, in order to make this system out to be the superhero based upon these artificial villains that they've themselves have created, like climate change and overpopulation and all this other stuff. And no different than telling you that black people are dangerous criminals who are just destroying. No, this is all a lie. It's all no different than them telling you that, you know, we need to spray some chemicals in the sky to reflect the sunlight energy because to combat climate change, when they're not ever talking about the emissions itself and the origins of the program that created that system and the depths of the relationship that humanity has with the earth as a whole. It will never go into that because you will start to remove the foundations of the castle as a whole, the sand castle. So they got these pieces of shit like Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg and Stephen Hawking talking about, without a world government, technology will destroy us. The aggression may destroy us by nuclear or biological war. We need to control this inherited instinct by our logic and reason. That is cheap magic, trying to make you believe in this shit. And since they made a movie about this guy, put it on HBO, like, yeah, all this is just to make you believe in what this individual is saying. No different than Jenna Marbles or somebody else being put on the trending ad talking about, 100 layers of nail polish or something like that. Just these dead, empty ass experiences. And then, like I said, the positive side is, oh, well, you have, she's a really nice person, very funny and all this other stuff. And then people will defend you for that, never going into the deeper, defend her for that, never going into the deeper layers of the effect that this has on people on the other end, and the way this magic is being manipulated. Same way like Stephen Hawking and all this other bullshit. This is no different than the channelers that are out there in the new age community selling you linear programs. It's no different. This is one storyline. They're making you think and act a certain way. Channeling is a linear energy, acting like it's infinite. It's acting like it is the collective consciousness when it gets out there. No, it's not. If you have to go into a trance-like state to tap into what you call the collective consciousness of humanity, it needs to become love and light. You got something fucking wrong with you. There's something missing there. You don't have to do that to go into that space. It doesn't need to be this dramatic ass show. And in fact, when you see that they are severing their connections to tap into this idea, it's like diet infinity. It's diet consciousness. That's what channeling is. Diet collective consciousness. And it's 99%. They're telling you it's 99% good for you because it's diet. But that 1% is fucking aspartame. That 1% is aspartame, and over time, it will destroy you. And that's the intention, for you to drink 300 gallons of diet consciousness so that 30 years down the road, the individuals who sold you that diet consciousness make bank off of your codependency, off of that aspartame, and eventually it will shorten your life. That is what the intention is. But since you're so thirsty, you haven't drank anything, you're living in a desert of consciousness, and somebody shows up with a diet consciousness, you're going to drink that shit up. And that's what channelers are. And they're limited. This is by their own understandings or their own definitions of themselves. They can't release certain information. They can't speak on certain things. They can't directly engage in humanity. Why is that? Because humanity, the consciousness of humanity, is ultimately tapped into a deeper layer of that unconditional love and collective consciousness, deeper than these channelers are. So if you are channeling your energy into a limitation program, a linear program, then you are channeling yourself out of your maximum potential. And that's the intention of these channelers. That's the intention of the New Age program. It's the intention of the Scientism program, to channel your energy into a limited perspective, a limited layer of consciousness, so that you become codependent on the program as a whole. The outside program, behind the veil. And it turns itself into a weapon. It becomes a weapon. But since it's a weapon dressed in sprinkles, like that piece of shit caked in sprinkles, you could just eat it up. You're just like, oh, well, this is good information. Like when people get whipped by the consciousness information that comes out of channelers like Bashar and Cryon and Abraham Hicks, when they set some of these people straight, when they have these questions about, humanity or their relationships, or when they get set straight, that's like the hardened piece of shit caked in sprinkles whip that's cracked on people's back. Like, oh, thank you for setting me straight. But they're not telling you anything that you're not capable of understanding on your own. And that's the intention of the whole thing. It's to make you believe in this level of consciousness as if it's the end all be all. It's not. You yourself are connected. You yourself are that flower of experience that is the most complex and beautifully the existence itself that you are is technology from the Most High. Each individual is in itself a technology from the Most High. a relationship between the balances of nature, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and everything else that is connected after that experience is all on purpose. It has a meaning and a purpose. These parasitic magicians and these magic spells are designed to keep us from realizing those relationships. Every time you do something that resonates on your highest good, your highest intent, your highest intuition, you are expanding your consciousness. Every time you do something like that, you are expanding not only for yourself, but for everybody and everything. So just realize what's happening now when you have people who are constantly subjecting themselves to a parasitic consciousness. Like I said in previous videos, you have Dr. Martin Luther King's, Malcolm X, Mozart, Debussy, Chopin. You have Beethoven's, all these people working at Home Depot and Frito-Lay and Office Depot and Pack and Save. You have all these people working at Pack and Save trying to sell other people poisons. So this is telling them that it's keeping them alive. No, it's shortening our lives. It's this diet consciousness leaked like with dots of aspartame, just like they're telling you that they're providing you water with the plumbing throughout your city, but they're dropping fluoride in the water. So this is no different than people defending technology or the university system because they believe that that's the pinnacle of human evolution, because they believe in monkey mind evolution. It's no different. This is all one program. But what I'm saying is that this affects how we experience our reality. We won't be able to tap into the language that doesn't need to be spoken if we are completely locked into a density program that is based upon magic spells and illusion. That's what allows this program to maintain haves and have-nots and artificial gods and kings, is because we allow ourselves to be consumed by the densities, and we simultaneously don't resonate on our highest vibrations, which doesn't expand the level of consciousness to our maximum potential. We just constantly just live in this vicarious experience. So this, when we are locked into the density program, it is literally affecting our consciousness. It's affecting time. It's affecting the velocity of the expansion of consciousness. It's affecting us on every layer. And since we are so linear, we are so locked into, our emotional bodies or the logic program or whatever it is, we're so linear. We take things personally and look at things from certain ways. We don't really see, we never tap into the nonlinear perspectives of our reality. We get consumed by one layer of reality and say that's just how it is. But no, when you manipulate history, you're manipulating consciousness. When you manipulate history and consciousness, or you're manipulating time, you're manipulating the relationship that humanity has with the experience as a whole, with individuals have with their soul essence, and how the soul essence experiences and expands their consciousness. If you came here to have a soul essence, if you are a soul experience in a physical body, in a physical reality, there's a meaning and a purpose there that goes into the depths of who and what you are. If you are locked, if you are diverted off of that path and locked into the illusions, which is another form you can see as being separated from your dreams, from going into kindergarten and then being mind controlled by the heliocentric program. If you are separated by that, that will affect the way you experience time, your soul time. That can happen individually. If that can happen individually, it damn for sure is happening collectively. So this is what I'm saying is happening with the Mandela effect. Our history has been manipulated. Our culture has been manipulated. These parasites have gotten into how we interpret our experience, and not to just control us on a physical layer, but to manipulate consciousness as a whole. And when that happens, then that affects time and the experience, the world as a whole, the world clock, the world time. See, we're still on Greco-Roman calendars and time. We're still on this limited version of reality. And since it's given us smartphones and a Toyota Corolla, then we just think, oh, well, that's just amazing. You know, we're just the amazing monkeys of the universe. We're amazing monkeys. So I can't wait till we take some of our amazing monkeys into a SpaceX ship and, you know, fly to Mars. And, like, that's going to be a good TV show. If you disconnect from this illusory reality, then you will start to gain more awareness, and you can start to gain awareness of your dreams and so on and so forth. The New Age program is another separation program to lock you into another linear version of reality. Like I was saying, channeling is generic. It's synthetic infinity. It's trying to tell you that it is the end all be all of, you know, information that you need to know. But if it's not rooted in the relationship that you have to your brothers and sisters around the earth plane, then it's half-assed at best, and it's ultimately apathy. It's apathy dressed in love and light sprinkles, and people are falling for that because we haven't had any sweetness, love and light, or anything forever because we've been in a desert. So people are drinking that diet consciousness with aspartame and constantly just telling themselves, well, it's just a little bit of aspartame, you know, and I don't drink this every day, and I don't listen to channelers every day, so it's not affecting me. But you're drinking one diet consciousness every one sip of that aspartame every week or every other week, and that's all you need to trigger you back into that level of consciousness, because ultimately it's triggering you out of your maximum potential, and that's the intention. We were being manipulated by fear, ultimately, largely, and still are, because all of the pieces have to be played. We were ultimately maintained, the level of consciousness was maintained by fear back in the day. Now it's shifting into the idea of manipulating people to be controlled by the idea of love and light. That's what the New Age program is. That's what CERN is going to be. That's what channeling already is. That's what the mainstream media is, when they tell you to believe in all this stuff and these people are your saviors, when everything that's been stolen, everything that you worship in technology, there were ancient technologies that predate this shit we have today. But you won't ever know about that. Why? Because it has to maintain a limited level of consciousness and understanding to maintain the so-called powers that be. And that's ultimately what's going on here. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining me. And until next time, I keep looking at this picture. That seems like a good... Anyway, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.